All right, we are on air. Let me remind the folks in the chat to sign up to press play. So press play on the video and it should start right away. All right, so welcome to our live chat. Today we're going to be reviewing your landing pages live. I am Josh Ledgard, the founder of Kickoff Labs, and with me today is Izzy. And Izzy, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi there, everybody. Happy holidays, and we're here to see if your pages have been naughty or nice. And we're going through our checklist, going through it twice. And we have our festive Santa Josh giving landing page reviews for us. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. If anybody doesn't know, so Kickoff Labs is a company. So as a company, we help people create do-it-yourself or done-for-you landing pages and opt-in forms. So our focus is on helping folks with lead generation, and that goes through all stages of the business, from product launch to ongoing promotion to contests and other engagement you might do. You name it. If it's got to do with lead generation, we can probably find a way to help you and help you improve your conversion rate. So that's kind of the focus of the chat today, is looking at some existing landing pages, offering our suggestions. I kind of phrased it as a suggest a test. If you're running A/B tests, then it's something you might want to consider. Our suggestions are typically based on what we know as best practices, what we see other customers that might be similar to you running, and also just kind of our intuition looking at looking at your page. And it's often helpful to get that third-party perspective. If you haven't already, you should already be having friends and other folks look at your landing pages and giving you their perspective. We'll try and be as unbiased as possible, and sometimes your page might seem kind of naughty to us. So you'll hear what we think. The other note I'll say is that for Kickoff Labs premium customers, we actually do offer a consultation to get a little bit more in-depth and personal with your campaign, because there's so much more than just the actual page itself that's involved in improving your conversion rate, regarding how you're driving traffic to the page, which segments of traffic is converting. We can get a lot more in-depth on your page. We're going to spend a few minutes on each of these pages. I'd love for anybody in the chat to ask questions, introduce yourself. So feel free on the chat, even if you don't have a page to review and you're here, just say hi, say what you're up to. Post your landing page if you want, and we can look at it. We do try and prioritize the pages of people that are here, and we want this to be interactive. So feel free to make suggestions, and we'll be checking the chat window regularly throughout the broadcast. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to take a look at the first page for review. All right, Izzy, can you let me know when you see the page?
We can see your page now. Thanks, Josh.
All right. So the first page that we're looking at is comfortableboxers.com, and so you'll see the domain is a great domain, comfortableboxers.com. I imagine it's pretty SEO friendly for anybody who might be Googling and saying, "I wish my boxers were more comfortable," or "How do I find more comfortable boxers to wear?" So right off the bat, the URL is probably a great URL for the business without knowing much more about it yet. The other thing I noticed right off the bat is that the text on top of the faded black backgrounds and images here creates a really stunning look. I mean, I feel like it grabs your attention. It grabs your attention really well to the text in the center of the page. As a quick check, you'll note that the page is also responsive. So as I scroll down the page adjusts. You'll see the images down below get put in the right location, and so right away there's a lot to like about the page. But then, so then we'll start looking at the actual copy. So the first thing I saw was Anthem. Anthem is coming. I don't really know what Anthem has to do with boxers. I guess then the tagline below it says ridiculously comfortable men's boxer briefs. So that must be Anthem. I'm not sure I have a better idea how to tie the two together other than saying Anthem is, we are ridiculously comfortable, or, it will be, ridiculously comfortable. Maybe you don't need that, but it was kind of like a jarring. Like I looked at it and I saw the logo is coming, and then, okay, is this what's coming? I guess you have to kind of assume that people are going to make that leap. I like how the tagline is called out with the highlight color below behind it. It creates a nice divider to the page. And then, but then we look at the next line, which is "Be the first to know," and there's a key. There's a key in here, and it says, and then enter inside. Without scrolling down the page, and I'll look at that copy in a second. I find for launch pages, the tagline and statement of "Be the first to know" doesn't have nearly as much appeal as offering an immediate incentive for signing up. You can even flip this to make it a little bit more incentivized. So if you don't want to offer anybody anything for signing up, even changing the phrasing of this, like, be the first to wear these comfortable boxers. So it's not be the first to know, because you'd say to know what, and the answer is obviously you understand it's to know when you launch. But what's in it for the customer? And what's in it for the customer is be the first, to wear these most comfortable, ridiculously comfortable boxers, or be the envy of your circle with wearing these. The benefit to the person isn't being the first to know, it's what they get out of being the first to know. And so, I first would say, hey, you should have an incentive and offer them a coupon or a discount for signing up. But if you're failing that, think about what the first to know incentive really is and phrase it that way. So it's not, they don't care when you launch, they care what problem you're going to solve when and how soon you're going to solve it. And so take it that way, and then instead of the copy on the button being enter inside, it could be like get mine first, or something that goes with that that incentive line here, or unlock mine first, something to do with the key. And I think that is that's the first comment that I'd make. So now going through the rest of the page. It says premium is now less expensive. Premium, I might say premium comfort is now less expensive, because that's really your brand, is you're focusing on the comfort. So that you've mentioned it a few times, ridiculously comfortable. You have comfortable boxers in the URL. I might change this headline to say premium comfort is less expensive. And then the second headline, I know you're going to say, like, oh, well, I already mentioned comfortable here. It's really two separate points. The first point is talking about the expense, and the second point is talking about ridiculously comfortable, and then you're going to list some of why it's ridiculously comfortable. Under these headlines, this paragraph text here, I think it creates a wall. I would think about how you break this up. So separate this into at least 2 paragraphs each, so you can have this section, the second part, as a separate second paragraph. People get scared off by walls of text, and so you want to be careful with how much text is in the body copy like this. And the same thing under ridiculously comfortable. The fabric is blended. I would think about how you separate this out, or create some bullets where you've got bullet points that are easily skimmable for people to read. And so thinking about how you create something that's skimmable for people to look at. And then of course, these are product feature shots. So the 2 shots are great. The shot here is people are heading in the direction of the text, so mentally it's making you look where they're looking, and they're jumping in the water, but it's kind of pointing at this text over here. And so it's great for alignment, getting people to look at things. And the same thing over here. these people are so comfortable, they're willing to go out in public in their boxer briefs, and you can see them running again towards the text, and it makes you look over here. So the images are great because they feature the product. They're really attention grabbing, and they're kind of pointing at the location. You've got a really simple copyright and some links to your social accounts. Then the really interesting thing about this page happens after you sign up. So I've signed up, and now you'll see there's a thank you for signing up message at the top, and then there's invite friends and earn product. The following links were created just for you. Using them will credit you for anyone you send us. Just click and share, copy and paste. And then you'll realize that you've got 0 friends joined. I could keep checking the page, and at 5 friends signed up, you'll get a pair of boxer briefs. At 10 friends, you'll get 2 pair. So it's a really simple scheme. The thing that I would do is I might say, every 5 people you share will get you another box. Like, put that incentive up here because it says invite friends and earn product. Great. I think the link, instead of saying using them will credit you for anyone, I would do the simplified text of saying, hey, for every 5 people you sign up, we'll send you boxer briefs. So put that right up front here so that people don't have to scroll to see that scheme, because it's really simple and it's easy to explain that you've got that scheme going on. They're using the bottom for the rewards policy, which is great, and then referrals will be checked for authenticity. It's a great little thing to put in there, so people don't have to read the fine print. You've kind of simplified the fine print down. There's a really simple social sharing going on. And then when I signed up, I got an email that also confirmed this. So if I pull up the email that I got, second, it's just an interesting thing to show what actually gets people's attention. So if you actually look, now I've got the email up. So as soon as I signed up, I got the email with these sharing links. And again, it's really simple. If you gain referrals, you'll automatically receive email indicating the number, and for every 5, and there's no limit to what you can earn. And so again, the email follow-up right away was great on this page, and it should keep people sharing and promoting the landing page. So those are my quick suggestions on the page. I mean, I had some for the first page, and then for this page, really putting that simple line right up in here to get people to share would be really good for you guys. Does anybody have any comments or questions about the page? Izzy, has there been any comments or questions in the chat?
So far, no comments or questions regarding the pages. Just some general questions. I do really like this page. The design overall, it's a really great design, and how Josh showed that that referral sharing at the in the thank you screen is really effective. I just had one quick little comment here about the copy. I noticed here that it says respecting the twins and wallets since like right now. Okay. To me, twins is it doesn't really explain to me if it's for male or for female. And by the top header screenshots, I only see a guy wearing boxer shorts, but then down here I see that it's for both male and female. So maybe kind of making that distinction, or using some other kind of wording, because twins to me seems like male's private parts, I guess. But that would be my only comment. Josh had some really great comments for you. So
yeah, I think I love the page in general. We make this kind of page pretty easy to implement. I know they're on the chat now. The page is still in progress in terms of media. Plan on launching in late January, says Anthem. And I think if you missed the first part, you guys can go back and watch the recap when we're done, because we did have some comments on the first page in addition to what Izzy said. But I'm going to go ahead now and move on to the next page, which is perhaps in the Christmas spirit, some more things that you could wear. we had somebody that wanted us to review the look of the socks, the socks.com. And it's interesting to compare the two, even though this shop has already launched to the previous one, and what's going on here in comparison. So right off the bat, you'll see that there's this animation here. It was the first thing I noticed, and it's this really that's the right word. It's this really bold, attention-grabbing animation that also obscures the images a bit, and it has one of my pet peeves about animation. So the previous page had animations, but the copy never changes. But in this page, the copy changes all the time. And so if you were trying to read something as a viewer, you lose it all the time. And then the animation ends up taking the place of a call to action. So when I view this page and I'm looking at it as a viewer, and you're thinking, well, what should I do next? I don't know. I can watch the animation for a little bit. There's no clear button or single button of what I should do next. The first thing my eyes are drawn to is this logo, then this animation, and then this leave a message button. My guess is you'd like to have people actually go to browse or purchase something, and so I don't think that this page really knows what its primary goal is, and is trying to get people to focus on that singular goal. So if it were me, I would drop the animation, have or at least where the text changes with the animation, and make it so it focuses purely on one headline. My favorite headline that came up in here, and of course it takes me a while to navigate back to it, was, do you wear socks or the socks? And if you had that headline in big and bold up here with this image, and then a call to action button below that headline that says get the socks now with a big huge button, I think that would be much more powerful than what it is today. The page isn't responsive, so if I'm on a mobile site, it's not going to look as great as it does on the desktop. When you scroll down, you see more of their tagline and brand, which I wish was higher up. You know, socks with character, socks versus the socks. Like that kind of copy, I think really is great for them. Why the socks? Again, this is pretty good copy that's in here, but I worry that you're going to lose people right at the top without thinking about this, or without having a big call to action that gets them to look at the rest of the copy down the page. And then for e-commerce sites, the one thing I've noticed is a lot of people just say subscribe to our newsletter, and they don't offer any incentive for subscribing to the newsletter. You say don't miss interesting happenings by subscribing to our newsletter, but there's nothing that you get about being exclusive for subscribing to the newsletter. There's nothing about what's there. It says interesting happenings. Great. Are you going to send me news about the North Korean hackers taking on Sony Pictures? Or is it going to be about socks? Or am I going to get coupons? Set expectations and offer an incentive that is actually appealing to somebody who might be browsing or shopping in a location like this. And once you do that, then you'll actually see people using these boxes, because right now there's just not an incentive. Like, great, another newsletter I could join. But if it was fun, if it was exclusivity, if it was a coupon, you're giving me a reason to subscribe to the newsletter. Izzy, did you have any other comments you wanted to make?
Actually, you had some pretty great comments on that page, and I was interacting with our chat members. They've been asking a couple questions regarding the past Anthem page, and we're just making this interactive, talking to each other.
So going through, it looks like I love that people are commenting to each other. Bob asked, what the main benefit of the Anthem page, and I would say again the main benefit for signing up could be, you could even talk about, just to go back a page, since the comments are on that in the chat. The main benefit could be in that saying, hey, sign up and earn rewards. Like you could actually say that when you sign up, you can earn your rewards or free or chance at free boxers. You don't have to tell them how until they sign up. That kind of creates a mystery. So perhaps trying out that kind of teasing the incentive on the first page that leads to the second page could be something that's a value for signing up. The discount on the first purchase is great. It is a great suggestion as well by Bob. All right, so heading on to the next page. Is there anybody that's here on the chat that wants to make sure we get to their page? We want to tend to preference people that are here so we can talk about the specific pages. So go ahead, and maybe Bob has a page he wants to look at since he's offering some great comments in the chat.
I'll go ahead and share a page that somebody did ask us to take a look at. They're here. They're called Beyond Home. I just shared it via the chat on the Grow page.
Okay. So I will pull that one up. Beyond Home. All right. So the Beyond Home page here, right up front. So I see the logo Beyond Home. Discover Design. Take your house beyond home. $10 gift voucher plus receive up to 25% discount. Register today. Pre-launch registration. So a couple things. So you've got there's a great incentive here for people to sign up. I think you could deal with a little bit better explanation text that says what it is, because right away you're saying discover design, take your home beyond home. I don't know if this is for personal design consultation, like interior design, or if it's an e-commerce shop that's going to be selling some of these things that's here. It's not much copy you have to add. It could be beyond home, discover design, our products will take if you add in some keywords like our products or our services, you really want to help people understand who the product is for. And what it's going to be that they're signing up for, and then the discount will make a lot more sense in context, because you don't want people guessing. Are you a service, or are you an e-commerce shop? Because you got such a great incentive, the copy here in the button could be get my discount or get my gift voucher. Instead of saying look beyond. Look beyond is cute. It's better than saying submit. But I would say, tie the incentive here to the actual to this incentive that's in the product copy, and then this text pre-launch registration really isn't helping anything. I would say you've already got this text right here, register today. You don't need this pre-launch registration text. If you want to add any additional text or context, there's an area, I know because this is another one of our themes, below this button here you can add in some text below the button to maybe add some more context. But this text as it is, pre-launch registration, I don't think is helping much because it doesn't add any other value to the user, and especially because you've already got this really bold text that says register today with the incentive right above it. I mean, you could just leave it there and then the button would be up higher on the page and not have this pre-launch registration text here above the form. So if I sign up, great, thank you. Now share with us the world and receive up to 25% discount. Check your welcome email for full details. And then you've got the links here below for sharing. You've made that easy. The welcome mail that I got to kind of look at the thing, and I'm pulling some of these up to kind of show the value of immediate response to customers and what you can do. And so this is their welcome mail that I just got. You'll notice I got that fairly instantly. I didn't sign up for this earlier. It's really simple. It's their logo. As promised, here's your voucher code. And so I assume when they launch that I can enter that into checkout. Yep, enter that into checkout. So it is an e-commerce store, which you could make more clear on the page. To receive your 25% discount, spread the word and receive the discount codes. Again, the links are followed up, and then the rewards when you share. So they've got reward levels at different things. Links are unique to you. The numbers above refer to completed signups. once we have the address, blah, 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 one per customer cannot be doing. Anyway, a fine print. But you see, like, you immediately, it's the best practice, they immediately followed up with the coupon, and then explained how to get the additional incentive by getting people to share through here. And that's an incredibly powerful mechanism for an e-commerce site there. So let's see. I don't have any other comments on this one. Izzy, did you have any other feedback?
No, actually, no direct feedback. I really like how they're using those gift vouchers, and with the up to 25% discount is a great way to incentivize people to share with their friends. So I really love that. Really love that. Actually, I haven't seen too many people, well, too many of our customers placing that much information into the thank you email, which I really like. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and sign up. One last comment that I had for this page is they're using the name Beyond Home. It kind of sounds to me like Bed Bath and Beyond. I just want to make sure that you're aware and that you don't run into any legal problems in the future, I guess. But I really like the page. I like the background image because it kind of sets expectations as well. You're seeing the items that you can get, that you can receive from their e-commerce store. So all in all, a great page and a great way to get people sharing.
Yep. So a couple comments. It looks like Coffee Shop Decal says it's really beautiful, but white on white doesn't work well on bigger screens. And it took a screenshot. Let me get that screenshot. See if I can make that bigger here. I see what he's talking about here. Yeah, the larger screen, I can see the white background, because there's so much white in the background image, the box kind of fades in and out, and so it could be, maybe a slightly different color for the background, or maybe we could make it more opaque for you so it stands out a little bit more. So I can see what he's talking about on larger screens. With the white kind of looking a little bit more muddled, but I think the important thing with it is that I think it's still extremely readable, and so it's important to think about the readability of the page, and I think it still qualifies as it's very easy to read the page still. And let's see. And
Bob had a page for us, Josh.
All right. So let's see. Bob had a page. Where's Bob's page?
It is rpx2.com/talent acquisition kit.
I see it.
There you go.
So let's look at Bob's page.
It's a really nice page.
You wanna, since you had a chance to look at it first, do you want to start us off here, Izzy?
I'll go ahead and start this off. Okay, so I'm looking at Bob's page. I really like the design of the page. It's a simple design. There's not any distracting elements on the page. The only thing that's kind of distracting are these arrows here, which are directing you to the sign-up form. I like that it's a free 6-part guide that he's right away offering value, and he's telling you how to attract and select the best employees for your business without the usual expensive guesswork. So this is some really great copy here. So he's using some keywords: attract, select, without, expensive. Great way of separating this headline to the top, top benefit, and the bottom is your savings. I really like that. Things that I would probably improve on the page, because I could go on things that I like about the page. There are tons of things that he's doing right. He's adding some customer logos here. He could probably get away with throwing in some customer testimonials as well. What I would do on the page is probably make this image a little bit smaller, so you could push up these elements as well, because you want to find out what you're getting inside of the ebook. So, and this is telling you, these are like, I would imagine these are somewhat like chapters of the ebook. So pushing this up a little bit more, making it more obvious what's inside of the ebook, maybe even putting a small sample of the chapter here, because it's a relatively small page and you do have space for a couple lines of of paragraph text here with maybe a small chapter sample. I guess my last suggestion here would be possibly putting these share buttons into the thank you screen. So I'll go ahead and sign up here. Let's see what happens. So it's a slow load to the next thank you page. Okay, that could probably be taken care of, that like slow load, but I like how it's immediate. You click here to get your ebook. If you like this guide, there's some more guides available. So it's a great way to offer that instant, that immediate gratification, that people want. I really like the page all in all. Josh, do you have any suggestions on the page? I'll go ahead and check if I got that thank you mail in the meantime.
Yeah, my biggest suggestion was what Izzy said about the sharing links, because these arrows do a great job of pulling you to the get instant access, and then you've got these share buttons here, and I think the page would look simpler if these weren't here, if these were instead on the thank you page to get people to share. And it would also pull up this copy a little bit and simplify the look of the page, which has already got a nice simple look to it to begin with. But I think that would be the one minor tweak. Customer quotes, like a quote about the book or a couple of quotes about the book, or maybe some embedded tweets that people have made, since there's tweets about the book. If there's things there, I think that would be useful. I agree with Izzy. Whenever you're giving away an ebook, it can be useful or powerful to get a sample chapter for folks, and I think that might be helpful as well to your cause. I kind of wish the form had get instant access. I kind of wish the form had a headline, say, you want your book, ? Or download it now, so that you had a kind of a sandwich call to action here, where you have a headline and then the text here, because otherwise it's not quite obvious what the form is for. It's instant access when really you're saying you're going to get them to download, and I would just reinforce that at the top of the form. So that was my 2 cents. Izzy?
Really quick, I want to go ahead and mention that I received their email. It wasn't quite instantaneous as Kickoff Labs autoresponders, but here's the email, and I'm noticing right away the from is from Fiona Brookwell and Michael and Mike. Period. I don't know who these people are. It's not said on the page. Nothing is mentioned on the page about these people. So kind of. You need to have that brand continuity where your brand is presented on your landing page. Your brand is, well, it's either you or your brand that's sending the autoresponder message. If it's you, at least mention your name on the page. If you visit our page, grow.kickofflabs.com/live, this page, you'll notice that we actually include a picture of Josh on the page. So, and his name is directly on the page. So whenever an email gets sent out, it either says from Josh or from Josh at Kickoff Labs or from Kickoff Labs, and it's clear. This is the person that's sending that information, and it actually kind of helps to build that trust as well. One last comment for you. I'm seeing here that says can't read or see images, and there's no images in the email at all. So just those small little fixes, because this is actually taking up some space and is taking up my preview here. Can't read or see images. This is some really valuable real estate here. So your email subject is obviously very important, but this next text is very valuable. So I'll start reading a bit, and if I don't like what it says, I won't click into it. And right here it says can't read or see images. That's not attractive to me. That's not informing me.
It's also an instant mental indication that what you have is spammy, and I shouldn't read it. Whenever I see that, like sometimes I'll see the preview in my mobile phone, and because especially on mobile devices, you only get that preview line that's in that first line there, And if it's not related to the content, if it says something like that, or sometimes people just blank it out and it says no content, it looks like the email has no content, and I'll just delete it. And I don't think that's uncommon. Like these are mental things that we've learned as people dealing with email to help filter, and you know, the little things like that, because you want people, even if you're letting them download it, you want them to open the email and read it, so that they get more value out of what you're doing, so that they're more willing to engage with you over time. All right. I know the coffee shop detail guys, the coffee shop decal. I wanted to pull that page up here. I love the unique pitch on laptop decal. So I saw this page come up on our system, and I liked it. I love the background images that are fading, that are really highlighting the product. Because I've got a decal on the back of my laptop, and it says it just says Kickoff Labs. And I've had people just based on that decal, it doesn't ask me questions. And then one time I was in a coffee shop and I saw a guy that literally he was working, and he just set up a little placard that says, "Ask me about my mobile app, and I'll give you a $5 coffee voucher. Like, I'll pay for your coffee," essentially. And it was working really well. As I was there for a couple hours, he had 5 or 6 people come up to him and ask him about the mobile app he was developing. So otherwise, he was just working in a coffee shop, and he had, he didn't have the sticker on the laptop, but he had a placard as a way to help network with people while he was there, and it really worked. So that said, I can see why the concept is a powerful way to get people to connect. So the product images, I think one of the things I liked best about the page, because it really got the point across about the product and what it is. Now we get to the copy. The page is really the page has really got a lot of long form copy here. So there's obviously the logo and then a tagline, a new way of networking. But then there's some long form copy, and I think this could really be tightened up to show what you're to talk about this a little bit more. So to kind of go through the copy. We're not just selling decals, but hear us out for a minute. We're selling a new way of networking. In today's co-working environment, everyone could benefit from some real-life inbound marketing. What's the solution? It takes make it rain business cards, and so advertise every room. And I actually think you could stop there. That's still a lot of copy, but I think you've gotten the point across. The thing where it says check out some of our designs and images to your right, I think that's really obvious to people that they can see that. We'll be adding decals for designers, photographers. To me, that's something about following up. You can say in the follow-up email or below the form. Subscribe to our mailing list and receive a discount code when we launch. Something about this, so there is incentive, but it's not a very specific incentive. And so whenever I read sign up and you'll receive a discount code when we launch and stay updated on Sweet Designs, I think the incentive is sign up and get X discount. Like, you be really specific, and it sounds a lot more real than saying that. And stay updated on Sweet Designs. I might actually say, and give us feedback on designs. So a lot of times people miss that. A lot of times people miss the opportunity here as a pre-launch to get people that are engaged. Because if you think about the mindset of somebody who signs up for a startup page, it's somebody that might be helpful as an early adopter for you in giving feedback. And so I would think about it not just as potential customers, but as an opportunity to say, hey, you sign up, we're going to start sending you some design samples, and you tell us what you like. And think about it, the opportunity to engage feedback. And so my biggest thing about this page is I think you could take the copy and make it a third the size. I think you could be really specific about the feedback or about the discount, and that you're looking for feedback. I think the button copy could say get my discount or see more samples, whatever you want to tie it more to or try in this location. And I think you'd be on your way at that point. Izzy, did you have any comments?
Actually, Coffee Shop Decal was asking, would I lose potential signups if I don't mention the other types of freelancers?
No, so I don't think you would if you don't mention the other types of freelancers. Because networking, I mean, the way you can pitch it is, I mean, you say everyone could benefit, and you're right. You're saying it's for anybody who's interested in networking. I don't think you need to mention the specific types of freelancers. Where that becomes obvious that we don't talk about on these reviews is where you're promoting the page and where you're promoting the business. So you might, for example, be promoting it in specific freelance shops, like you might, or on specific freelance forums rather, where you might be in a community with photographers. You say, hey, I'm working on this solution. Do you think that there's some decals or stickers would really help on your laptop while you're working to do? Here's some sample designs for you guys. Go check out my page if you want to learn more. And then they know that you're into them because you're talking about them where you've introduced the page from and where you've advertised the page from. And that's a bit of context that you have to assume everybody comes in with some little bit of context about how they heard about the page. And so you don't need to say specifically on this intro page who it's for in this. I know I've said before you want to be specific and you want to be able to say who pages are for, but it's not, you don't have to go and list every one. I think you're already saying we're for people who work in coffee shops and want to deal with want to get business cards or want to get more business.
Exactly.
And you have a laptop, right? You're already kind of being exclusive in that sense and defining who your segment is. Any other comments or questions here? Looking at the chat here.
Well, we had another page, but I can't seem to locate the page.
Let's see. And when people search for decals, so another comment from the Anthem folks, when people see the decals, they immediately think of the possible applications or applications. I don't think there's a need to mention every type of freelancers. I even considered, hey, I need boxers, come talk to me. So it's great feedback from the Anthem folks saying, even they could use it, and so you wouldn't want to be that exclusionary. I think the product shots really help in that case. And then just because the images get hidden on mobile, so you'll notice the images get hidden when the page shrinks a little bit. I might consider putting a sample image or something below the form so that if people are scrolling on mobile that they have a sample image they can view below the form, since some of the images get obscured on mobile devices. All right, and then Drew for Drew Dago. Let's see. So, Izzy, do you want to start with this one?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start with Drew's page. Jump into it. Okay, so right away, I'm seeing that this is a Kickoff Labs page. So it's nicely designed, obviously, and we can see here that it's mobile responsive. It'll scale down correctly, and it'll still look nice. So I like the 3 layout design. Overall, I do like the how the page looks. I'll go ahead and start adding my advice. I would start by adding some more copy to the page, because right here I'm only seeing the person Drew DeGrotto, which I get to see an image of him here down here. But it says freelancer. Okay, well, obviously, if you're working on the web, hopefully I'm not too mean, Drew. If you're working on the web, obviously you're some kind of freelancer, designed for web and print. So adding some more copy to make it more obvious the kind of work that you're doing, the specific kind of work. What kind of web work are you doing? Is it web development? I would imagine that it's web design, because obviously it says design here. But there's all kinds of small techniques that you can add here. You can add some more support copy, basically, is what my point is. Seems a little bare bones. It still seems like a work in progress. These images, while I like the images, I think that all these images that are included in this single image can be put, can be laid out individually. So it's not just one image with all of the images bunched up. So I could, click on each and just go and you can probably present it as a slideshow once it's clicked onto, and I can go from one image to the next. So we're seeing some of your print work as well. So dividing this as well, like into subcategories, saying, okay, this is the work that I've done for print. This is the work that I've done for email. For example, you don't even mention that you work, that you do email design here at the top. So it's something that's important. Photography. Okay, so you do professional photography as well. Something as well to mention here at the top. Find out more. Well, first I would like to find out more on your page before I'm going to contact you, Drew. And so really just adding some more elements on the page, adding more content about what you do, more content about what you create, and separating these sections as well, because I like how how much work you've actually done. This is actually more freelance work than I know a lot of other people have done. So you have that experience. You do have a lot of work under your belt, and making that obvious. Don't hide yourself with such a small picture. Um, Make yourself more obvious, and hopefully that'll help you get more people to the page and convert them as well. Josh, any suggestions?
Yeah, it's pretty rare that I tell people that they should add more copy to their page. I'm
Right.
usually telling people they need to pare it down. I think this is definitely that case where you're right that there needs to be you know freelancer. Like I would think Drew DeGrotto, like you might want to say design freelancer, web and print design freelancer. Then in this page you can say, I've been doing for X amount of time, I do this kind of work typically, and I can help you in the following ways with, your print design, your web design, the photography, graphic design, and I think there's a lot more space to explain what you're after. The other thing I noticed, once you've got those categories, this find out more, request a callback, you can have a drop down in here that says what kind of design work you're interested in. You might be able to get that a little bit more information from people in that case. And then I did kind of like what Izzy this, as opposed to what Izzy said. I did kind of like the collages in some ways, because I really hate the going through designs, like sometimes where there's, you can have too many. So I did kind of like how you consolidated the designs into these kind of the simple 4-side slideshows. But like Izzy said, I might take this intro to and talk about the different things that are here, so you can explain what they are a bit more, because it doesn't become obvious until you're clicking that there's photography, that there's email. So having some text that backs this up. And if you have problems with that, let us know. We can help you. We can help you add this to the section. So. Let's see, is there another page here, somebody else that's here that hasn't chatted with us yet?
Yes, actually, we had 2 more pages. We have thegreatbakingapp.com.
I'll let you start with that one again, Izzy.
Alrighty. The Great Baking App. I love the name. I like the. Okay, well, I like the page. The color scheme is like it actually does seem kind of like kitchen-y, bakey, has like a classic feel to it. So and baking to me is very, very classic. It's a classic activity. So I like the page. I like the design. One thing that I don't like is the background image. It's a little too pixelated for my taste. If this was on a mobile phone with keep in mind that most Apple devices have Retina screens, so you'll be seeing this in even higher definition. So take a look at the background image, how it's kind of pixelated. So I would actually probably change this. A quick little comment. This little mound of powder here looks somewhat suspicious. Opening it up so you can kind of tell what it is. Actually, it's just like flour. But having like a background image, what I would probably do with the background image of higher quality is push the elements back so I can see this app screen. Well, this iPad just a little bit further in the distance. If that was possible, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking a further back shot of the a further back shot of the kitchen that's a little bit more, maybe in the background, not so zoomed in.
Not so close up, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so that would be a great suggestion. Noticing that the page is actually being pushed a little bit off to the side, which is going to make it act funky on some devices. People don't like scrolling horizontally. It looks as if the culprit is this image here. X-size conversion infographic free. Okay, cool. I like how they're offering something for free, but it doesn't really explain to me on the page how I could get it or what exactly it is. X-size conversion does I don't understand exactly what that is. I have the feeling that you're trying to get people, you're trying to inform people about your app. Have you ever been confused about this? Have you ever been flustered? Okay, flustered is somewhat of a complicated word, so I would kind of simplify that. Simplify all of the copy on the page. With leaders announces, okay, stop by this. So reading through this, there's not really information about this egg-size conversion infographic, okay, until I get to the bottom of the screen. Okay, I'll also send you a free infographic on egg-size conversions to use in your recipes. Okay, because I'm nice like that. Okay. Adding some of this information here at the top, here a little bit above the form, above the sign up here, would probably work to let people know a little bit more about what the app is going to do for them. Is this going to be included in the app? Is this part of the app as well? I would like that information. What I was going to mention about the image and how to get people to not scroll so much, either making it smaller, pushing it a little bit more towards the actual panel box here, or putting it on this other side. Because
I was thinking smaller and below the email entry box. That way it calls your attention to it, doesn't draw your attention over to the right. So you put it, right below the email box with that copy below it that explains what the image is, and it becomes something that draws your eyes to the email, but then also doesn't have the scrolling impact, and it'll work a little better.
Definitely, definitely. Other than those changes, I think that's pretty much all my suggestions. Like I said, it's a really great page, has a good classic feel to it, and I think has the potential of being a great app. Josh, any suggestions?
No. You want to go on to the next page?
Let's go ahead and jump to Sibtain had a page first, and actually he's in Pakistan and was having some trouble connecting to our live chat because we use YouTube. But he said that he did make it onto the chat, so we'll go ahead and review his page. So Smart Choice, okay. Now I didn't take a look at the URL. Okay, smartchoice.pk/beta. That .pk domain I'm not familiar with, to be honest. If it's
I think for their target, market in Pakistan, it might.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Exactly. Yeah, it is for Pakistan. I didn't realize it was. Okay, so looking at the page, it's a site. Looks as if it's a business that provides internet services. It's a fairly simple page with a fairly good design. I mean, I've seen some American companies with pages designed a lot uglier than this. So looking at the page, the first thing that I would want to do is obviously compare services or compare deals. So I'm seeing here that I can I can compare some kind of deals, but if it was possible to compare services, I'm not sure if that's what this site is offering. If it's like a service comparison, compare plans, or if it's actually providing the services.
I couldn't tell either, but right away what I was wanting to do if I were them, if they're trying to get leads for these broadband companies, would be to think about requiring an email address to do the search there. Now you don't necessarily have to. If somebody finds another way to get to you, you have a search link, but right at the top, if you're going to get somebody to pick 2 drop downs, ask them to add an email address. there as well. That way you can follow up with them later on down the road.
You're very, very true. And actually, they're asking for the email address a little bit further down. So what you're doing here, you're adding 2 call to actions. And what this will do, this will cause a conflict between the people. Sometimes they won't even click on one of them. They'll say, okay, well, I'll compare some deals, and then I'll just bounce off the site. So I'll never come back. Or I'll just sign up to your monthly newsletter. I don't like the first newsletter that I get, so I'll just unsubscribe. So Josh had a great point. Combining these, so you just have a single call to action, and asking for that email address. It's okay. You can just go ahead and add another form here. The space for the email address. So when people click search now, they're automatically subscribed to your newsletter as well. This is actually fairly well laid out, like I said, pretty informative. There's plenty of copy here in case I have any questions. Why use the comparison site? Okay, so clearing doubt. Let me see if these things are clickable. Okay, so they're not. These items here, these like icons here at the bottom, below the header area, says search broadband, compare plans, place order. These items are not clickable, but they're like hoverable. It just adds to me it's kind of a distraction, and so I would probably simplify this, make sure that they're not hoverable, maybe even just like darken out these icons, because it's like the blue, the red, and the green. They kind of call my attention, but when I hover over them, they're just like a solid gray black. I think I like that gray black better because it actually calls out it makes your call to actions stand out a little bit more, because I see red here, then red here, green, blue. My last suggestion would be your popular searches here. I would probably place this on the search now page. So only give people that single that single chance to compare their deals. So they'll click here, they'll enter their email address, they'll be subscribed, and then on the next page they'll see they'll see the most popular searches, they'll see some of the featured deals. So just cutting some of the copy, making the page just a little bit shorter, so you're directing people exactly to what you want them to do. Those would be my suggestions to obtain. Any further suggestions, Josh, that you would give to this page?
No, my only other one was to think about having the button the full width of that box and putting that box on the left side of the page as something just to try and test a little bit of a difference. So I want to thank everybody that showed up today. There was a lot of good interactivity. I love the comments and the chat between folks that are in attendance. I think everybody kind of found that helpful, and it's exactly what we were after when we started coming up with the idea of doing this. We wanted that interactivity. So I'm thrilled. It's a great Christmas present for me to see that happening as we keep doing these chats. So a couple of things. So if you didn't know already, so we are a Kickoff Lab, so we make opt-in forms and landing pages extremely easy. Our goal is to make things simpler for people to set up pages that they can test and refine over time. Our secret ingredient is that we can turn any campaign into an example of like some of those referral engines or viral campaigns you saw today with some of the people that asked for review. We make setting that up pretty easy, and I think the folks on the review would probably agree with that. And so that's where we talk about if you're wondering if that works, whether or not people actually add incentive. We see about a 20 to 40%, sometimes 35% boost when an incentive is added. You'll see somewhere between a 40 to 50% boost on your page, meaning you get those additional signups, which can be extremely valuable for folks that aren't that don't have the revenue to keep dumping more ad money into their lead generation pages. We also, if you didn't notice, we get some contact card information, so we'll get you a lot of demographics. So here's an example contact card where I entered my name. We'll tell you the rank the person that signed up. We'll tell you, and you could tell that back to the person as well. links to their social profiles. We pull back images. I only submitted my email address to a Kickoff Labs form. This is all the stuff that we collected, or at least just some of the stuff that we collected about the campaign. We pull back the campaign data, so lots of great analytics and stuff you'll get, and that'll help you when you start seeing these information, these lead cards back from the people that sign up. You'll start learning more, and it'll give you ideas of how to refine your campaigns going forward. So that said, give Kickoff Labs a try. Sign up. It's risk-free for 30 days. If you have any feedback about the chat, about the product, feel free to email us, support@kickofflabs.com. We're happy to ask for anything or just suggest a different test you could do with your landing page. One housekeeping note for anybody that's here, there will be no chat next Thursday, it being the holiday, so we'll be back into the new year. So everybody will get an email that signed up will get an email about our next chat. And we'll be posting the recap for this with the video and a blog post sometime early next week. So there'll be a recap next week, but no chat next week, and we'll look forward to kicking off new chats in the new year. So happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll hang around the chat for a couple minutes afterwards and answer any other questions that come up. So thanks again, Izzy.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks again. Have a great New Year and happy holidays to everybody.
Thanks. Bye.